Playoff implications hang in the balance in today's game. The fate of the Guardians and the Battlehawks will be determined today. The 5-4 Guardians look to lock up a playoff spot with their 6th win against Tampa Bay, a team that has been playing solid since Murray's return. You are bound to see a different outcome from Week 1. Both teams have evolved, and it comes down to today's game. In that game, Murray suffered an injury and Cornelius took over, but now that Murray is back, the Vipers have improved immensely. The one constant through it all has been De'Veon Smith. Look for him to lead Tampa Bay's ground attack. New York started with Matt McGloin at QB, but since his injury, Luis Perez has taken over and the Guardians have never looked back. The Guardians are 1 win away from sealing their fate. Can they take care of business and lock up the number 2 seed? New York Guardians, Tampa Bay Vipers. This is the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. And it all comes down to this right here. New York Guardians, Tampa Bay Vipers. When the XFL started with Week 1 and they demolished Tampa Bay 23-3, I'm sure nobody thought that it would come down to this final game to see if New York will have an easy road to the number 2 seed or have to have a fighting chance. Now, New York needs to take care of business in this game. If New York wins this game, the last game of the night, which is St. Louis and DC at 8 p.m. tonight. If that game will not even matter, the seeds will be locked up. We would have the 6-3, well, whatever their record will be come the end of that game, the 6-3 DC Defenders going up against we'll know that by then, the 6-4 Guardians. So let's just say they both went out. It'll be 7-3 Defenders, 6-4 Guardians. The DC Defenders will host New York. If Tampa Bay wins this game today, they will send the entire East in a tailspin if St. Louis can win against DC. So let's take a look at these tiebreakers. If both these teams wind up at 5-5. If New York loses and St. Louis wins today, it will come down to tiebreakers. It'll be head-to-head first. They split the season series, so that's another tie. We go to the next tiebreaker.
This is what I want. Gun, straight 50 AZ cross. Ready, break.
The next tiebreaker will be net touchdowns. And I'll tell you right now, I did the math. St. Louis sits at 0 for their net touchdowns. They've gave up as many touchdowns as they've scored, which is kind of crazy to think of. And they sit at 4-5 currently. And New York, on the other hand, they have, if you guys been watching since we've taken over, they have not scored a lot of touchdowns. Points is different. They've scored points. They've kicked a lot of field goals, but they haven't scored that many touchdowns. They sit at -4 net touchdowns. Teams have scored 4 more touchdowns than they have put up all season. So that immediately gives the Battlehawks the advantage, and they will enter the playoffs as the number 2 seed. But for that to happen, that team in green that is on your screen, ooh, that rhymed, I like that. That team in green that is on your screen, the Tampa Bay Vipers, need to win this game, and the St. Louis Battlehawks need to defeat Cardell Jones and the DC Defenders. So, in conclusion, crank up your Dumb and Dumber, cue Jim Carrey up, so you're saying there's a chance. Yes, St. Louis, there's a chance for you to still make the playoffs. You just need a little help from Tampa Bay, and you need to take care of business against DC. New York is starting with good field position on their side. First pass of the day is behind the line of scrimmage and is stopped very quickly for a loss of 3. Tampa Bay did not have a successful first drive when I was talking about the playoff scenario.
Right, big play. Let's do it again. Oh, yeah, I hope they come at us the same way.
And now they have punted the ball away to New York. Now, I'm not predicting anything here, but the way Tampa Bay has been playing lately, you've got to be concerned for the Guardians. I mean, The Guardians do not score a lot of points. The Guardians play extremely well defense. Luis Perez finds a man over the middle, and it's complete. That is the tight end, Joe Ines. Or I'm sorry, Joe Ains, not Joe Ines, Joe Ains. Oh, I'm sorry, that is Fitzsimmons. Oh, they're both 46. I'm sorry, I thought Fitzsimmons was 45. I'm sorry there. That is Chris Fitzsimmons, the starting tight end for the New York Guardians. Great catch. Going across the field, they are now down to the Tampa Bay 30, and they are in scoring position. This is the kind of drive that New York needs in Tampa Bay to get started and hopefully have the game they want. But what they need to do is score. If they score touchdowns, it doesn't matter. They win this game. Scoring touchdowns, I guess, does matter because you got to score touchdowns to win games. I mean, granted, I was wrong because they won a game on field goals. So let's just scrap all that and start again from the beginning. If they score points more than Tampa Bay, they win the game, and they don't have to worry about any silly tiebreakers. They are in with their 6th win, and St. Louis cannot catch them. If they lose today, they better hope it's a shootout. They better hope it's not if it's a shootout, they'll still be they're in trouble. Any scenario I can think of in my head, I'm freestyling as I go along right now, they will be in trouble because no matter what, that -4.
This is what I want. Gun, split spread, weak draw. Stay sharp. Break.
That -4 to 0 net touchdown differential is going to hurt New York. They don't put up, I tell you, they don't put up buku points. That is the way their offense rolls. They get in the field position, good field position, and they wind up booting a lot of field goals. I mean, let's look here. 1st and 10, they hand it off to Pittman. Pittman gets stopped right at the line. None of that is happening here. Stopped by the toughest linebacker in the league, Butler. 2nd and 10 with 6 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. But the fact that they've only...
Okay, people. Quads. 50 double cross. Got it? Good. Break.
The fact that they have a -4 net touchdowns means that they are in big trouble, and they just need to get a win. A win here will make sure all of that goes away. If they lose, they will be glued to the couch like all of you guys are watching that last game of the XFL season, St. Louis and DC. There is the snap. Ball gets thrown to the left side. Fights forward for a big gain, but gets to 3rd and inches. Does not convert there. Another catch by Fitzsimmons. I mean, Fitzsimmons is becoming a focal point of this offense on this drive, which is good. They've got to spread the ball around. They've got to score in different ways. They can't just settle for field goals, settle for field goals, settle for field goals. This is why they're in the position they are in. There's the snap. Hand off to Pittman. Pittman picks up a smooth 5. 1st and goal at the Tampa Bay 5-yard line. Now, this is what they need. They need to score a touchdown here. They get points. They get 6. It's way better than picking up 3. They don't want to, I'm telling you, they don't want to make it any worse than it is for them already when it comes to net touchdowns. They do not want to have the first tiebreaker not go their way. Because even if they somehow were to tie up this net touchdown tiebreaker, which I think is virtually impossible, they lose the 2nd tiebreaker, which is points scored in the head-to-head matchup. They lost the 1st game against St. Louis 29-9, but they only beat them in the 2nd game, which was here on the Last Life Gaming Network, 10-9. So it was a 1-point differential in their 2nd game, but they lost by 20. So it's a differential of 19. So St. Louis has the advantage there. Listen, St. Louis, I know you guys are watching this game. I know Teyamu and Jones and company, they're sitting back, getting ready for their game, which is at 8. They're probably at the stadium as we speak. And they're just like, well, we just have to lock up we just have to make sure Tampa Bay helps us out and picks up the win, so then we can go out and handle our business and beat DC to face them again the following week. So I love this because it's Sunday. It's a great day for football. It's a beautiful day in Tampa Bay, and we have the fate of 2 teams that will be determined in the last day of the XFL regular season. I absolutely love it. It could not be any better than this. This is the type of XFL drama you guys need and want in your life. I mean, with everything that is going on with the COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic. This is a beautiful alternative to our lack of sports since it has become a pandemic here in the States. So, at 8 p.m., DC travels to St. Louis, so they will be in the Dome. This is big because DC has not been good away from their home, and if they continue to follow that trend, St. Louis has a huge chance of getting into the playoffs. It's kind of crazy to think that, because I think at one point St. Louis was 4-2, and they looked like the team that would make it to the playoffs with ease. But then they started to skid. At the same time that LA in the West became the hottest team in the league, St. Louis, in my opinion, has dropped to become one of the teams that are on such a bad skid. They are on the outside looking in on the playoffs. But enough about all these other teams. Look at Tampa Bay. Since Aaron Murray's been back, these guys have looked solid. They are sitting at 3-6. I think at one point they were 1-6. So they've won their last two. And look at De'Veon Smith. He just bows over two men, and nobody's going to catch him from the 50. He is down to the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Wow. What a run. De'Veon Smith, the only time anybody touched him was right about at the line of scrimmage. He mowed over a man. He made it look easy and smoked the rest of the New York Guardians. Look at this replay. He just barreled over that defender and coasted away from the rest of the guys. Steven Flores was the closest man. That's a defensive tackle, and ain't no way a defensive tackle is going to keep up with De'Veon Smith, who has been a key staple in Tampa Bay's offense. That man has been running amok on almost every team he's played this year, and it continues in the final week of the season. And if you're a St. Louis fan, this is what you want to see. Tampa Bay puts up the first touchdown of today's game. That moves New York's net touchdowns right now to -5. This is why this is so important of a game for St. Louis. There's the snap. Kick is up. Kick is good. 7-3 ball game in favor of Tampa Bay. And we're gonna have ourselves a game. I'm telling you, since Aaron Murray's been back, I was just talking about that. Since he's been back, Tampa Bay has been a different team. With the win here, they will end the season on 4-6, and I think that will be their third straight win of the season. I mean, these guys have been playing extremely well. Let me look here. I believe they beat Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember. Well, they definitely beat St. Louis. They beat the dog, you know what, out of St. Louis. And if they win here, that might be their second win. I'm trying to remember if they beat Dallas or not. I'm gonna have to go back in my archives and check. But it was pretty surprising.
Ready for this? Eye jokers, weak toss. Let's do it.
It was pretty surprising to see that they were playing this well this late in the season. I'm telling you, even with Cornelius there, I think if I'm not mistaken, they did beat Dallas. That beautiful play action pass is all I can remember right now, and it was a fantastic game to watch. And oh, there is Pittman on a deep run. My eyes were averted from the monitor. Pittman with a beautiful run on that play. Hopefully the truck will help me out there. I'm sitting here trying to figure out exactly who did what. And wow, he made a little shimmy move there and was off to the races. Pittman is pissed off now because he's seen exactly what De'Veon Smith did. He's like, all right, anything you can do, I can do better, bro. Don't think you're the only guy out here that can make moves and make it happen. So yes, I believe I'm correct on this one. Tampa Bay beat Dallas. Yes, that was the game where Landry Jones decided to throw the ball away on 4th and 4. How can I forget that? Landry Jones threw the ball on 4th and 4, and that was the incomplete pass. So yes, Tampa Bay won that game against Dallas. Then they lost to DC. And then they won again in convincing fashion against St. Louis. So, with that being said, Tampa Bay's been hot. They're one of the hotter teams. I think they've been playing better than New York has been playing lately, even though New York has the 5-4 record. Perez in the gun. He is looking downfield. It is nearly intercepted. You cannot throw that football with ease with the toughest linebacker in the league, Dan Butler, standing in your way. They're lucky that ball wasn't intercepted and going the other way. Because if that was Pick City, you would have gave Tampa Bay easy field position once again, and who knows what De'Veon Smith would have done. There he is, the toughest man in the XFL. I told you, we coined that term for him because he was diagnosed with a broken nose. They said he was out for 4 weeks, and then you look out on the field, and he's back out there. It was kind of crazy to believe. He is the one that makes the stop on the run there, and now we have 4th and 7, and New York is punting this ball away. It's kind of crazy to see that New York is struggling in this first half. They've only put up 3 points, and Tampa Bay made it look really easy, man. I'm telling you. Tampa Bay, oh, that is a great punt. Fantastic punt by New York. They pin Tampa Bay deep. They have to go 95 yards to get to pay dirt. Let's see if they'll be able to do that. That is one hell of a punt. How many times does a punt get replayed? You guys in the truck, you know what? I think I've said this before. We've had our differences. I've threatened to meet you guys outside plenty of times. I just want to say, for these last 5 weeks, from week 6 to week 10, let me count. The last 5 weeks, you guys have done an outstanding job in the truck, making sure the field pass gets heard, making sure everything gets done. And there's De'Veon Smith. He's off to the races again. He's past the 30 to the 40. Gets tackled down at the 48-yard line. You've got to be kidding me. We are only 1 quarter into the game, and De'Veon Smith has 122 yards rushing. On the counter play, where is this New York defense that we have seen since week 6? They are non-existent. I mean, this is not the game for them to be playing this way. We've been singing New York's praises defensively all season long. They've been playing these tight games, and their defense have been the ones to hold them in check. As they showed up on that play, they stopped Smith right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. And I don't even think.
Did you see that? Beautiful, just beautiful.
I don't know how you call that beautiful after he just rang off about a 40-some-odd yard run.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. Hell yeah, brother.
I mean, their defense right now is non-existent. And that shows by the 2 biggest runs of the day for De'Veon Smith, and he has over 120 yards rushing on about 3 or 4 carries. Offset I formation, you know this is a run for Tampa Bay. He powers up the gut, gets to the 46-yard line. 3rd and 4 for Tampa Bay, and I don't believe I've seen Aaron Murray throw a single pass. When you've got De'Veon Smith back there and they're not able to stop him, can you blame them? I mean, I don't blame them at all. I mean, the way this game has been going, you cannot blame Tampa Bay for just sitting back and running the ball. They haven't stopped it. I will continue to do it. Now De'Veon Smith is taking a breather. It is Leroy Green that is there, and he takes a draw play. But it gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and there's New York's defense finally to show up, and that will end the first quarter. What a quarter it has been. Chad Marlborough on the stop, and there it is. 7-3 ball game in favor of Tampa Bay. Plenty of football left. Plenty of time for plenty of time for New York to bounce back and try to take the lead here before the half closes out. They get the ball at halftime, so a lead before the half at the end of these 10 minutes will be big because they need to win this game to lock everything up. That'll make it nice and easy. A New York win will just lock up everything. And if you're just joining us, hello, my name is Bravo33, and that punt was nearly blocked. My name is Bravo33. You are watching the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. We have decided to not let the XFL season come to a close, and if you heard yesterday's game, I broke into detail how the XFL has suspended operations, and there's no sign of life for 2021, which is which is very, what's the word I want to use here? It's very, very heartbreaking. That's probably the best word I can use. It's very heartbreaking to hear. We're hoping they're doing this just to have precautionary measures since there's no XFL football to be played, and it seems as if all of our seasons, all of our NFL, our NBA season, our NHL season will be over. MLB didn't even get a chance to get started. All of our major sports are not being played in the States. There's some soccer being played around the world, but as far as the major four in our country, in the great United States, no sports are being played. So we have decided to take the esport route and continue to finish the XFL season here at the Last Life Gaming Network. It's an unfortunate thing that we have to do, but if this is what we have to do to see who will be the XFL champion, here at the Last Life Gaming Network are not shying away from seeing that happen. That toss was nearly caught. Man, you got to give an effort to the wide receiver there, but great defense by Tampa Bay. New York's going to have to punt this ball away again. I believe that was a 3 and out. They only picked up 4 yards in that entire drive, and they're going to be putting this ball away, and Tampa Bay is playing a little FPF. Hashtag FPF in the chat. 7-3 ball game. They're playing field position football, and a punt here. They need a really good punt, first of all. He's in the back of his end zone. He's got to knock this ball all the way back. Let's see. This is a good punt. But it goes only to about the 48-yard line of New York. Spin move gets away from one, and he is tackled down at the 43. And guess what? The Vipers, thanks to Iman Lukens, has good field position. And, I mean, you saw that run by Devion Smith, both runs. I think the Tampa Bay game plan is going to be like, look, man, let's keep handing our man the ball off. Let's keep handing him the ball until they stop it, until they force Murray to throw this ball. Offset eye, you know this is a run for him, and it goes to Devion Smith again. He runs up the gut, spins off of a man, got him room outside, gets a great block, springs away, gets tackled from behind at the 16-yard line. That man, Devion Smith, 154 yards on 5 carries. Wow. This has got to be, we have seen some record-breaking football in the past couple weeks. What a block there by the tight end, Sean Baker. Sean Baker has been a key cog in the Vipers offense. Not only receiving the football, but blocking as well. He has been the epitome of a tight end. Sealed the sideline for Smith. He just wasn't able to get away. Trips formation. I still believe this ball is going to Smith. Until New York can stop it, why prove otherwise? Oh, I am lying. This is a pass play. It goes over the middle, nearly picked off. That's why you just keep running the ball. Hey, if you're a Tampa Bay fan, you're going to look at your screen and go, what the hell are you doing? Run this damn football. If we're going to throw the ball, I think that was Murray's first attempt. If we're going to throw the ball and it's going to be nearly picked off in the end zone, hey, keep giving this ball to Devion Smith. And I think that's exactly what they're doing. Offset I formation. And you know when it's offset I for Tampa Bay, this is a run. I mean, it's proven in the books. Another handoff. New York was ready this time. Big stop for them there. Stop behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 11.
Let's keep this going. Right on.
I don't think that was Smith mic'd up. We might have turned on the wrong mics there.
This is what we're going to do. Gun. Straight 50 AZ cross. And
I think we turned on the wrong mics there. That sounded like that was the New York defense that was talking that smack. Devion Smith just looked a little pissed off getting up. All right. No, this is definitely a pass. This might be Aaron Murray's second attempt of the game. Trips formation at the bottom of your screen. There is the snap. He has got some time. Looking downfield. Gets the ball. Thrown to Baker. And Baker drops it. Just when I was saying Baker has been in the epitome of tight end for Tampa Bay, he gets he pretty much just he might as well underhanded it to him because it was that easy of a throw. Hits him right in the hands. Maybe he heard footsteps, was worried about who was behind him. But nonetheless, with 7:30 to go in this half, the Tampa Bay Vipers are looking to make this a 7-point game and putting some more pressure on New York before this half comes to a close. There's a snap. Good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. 10-3 ball game in favor of Tampa Bay. And again, if you are a Guardian fan, things are not looking good because you guys will be glued to that St. Louis DC game. I'm sure you guys want to go out. Where I am recording, it is going to be a beautiful day. I'm sure in New York, I know you guys cannot pretty much go anywhere. It is crazy lockdown. Here in Massachusetts, it's not really a lockdown state as much as New York. I have family in New York, and they have told me, man, we can't pretty much go anywhere, and we got a curfew. It's crazy. So you guys will be sitting on your couch glued to the screen if you don't win this game. New York fans, Guardians fans, I know you guys are like, come on, wake up. We need a score here. And there's plenty of time. There's 7.5 minutes to go in this half. There's plenty of time to take your time, get Pittman started. Look, I mean, look at his game. Granted, Smith has been outshining him the entire game. Smith is over 150 yards rushing. But for a first half, Pittman has been playing well. He's got nearly 50 yards rushing today. Perez takes a deep drop back, throws the ball to the right side of the field. It is caught at the sideline for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 for New York. I'm trying to see who is that on the reception. That is Mackenzie Frizzell. Big Mac is what we're going to call him for the rest of the game. Big Mac gets to the snag, gets about 6 yards on that play. 2nd and 4 for New York. And like I said, Tampa Bay. It's going to be crazy to see if Tampa Bay can pick up the win and St. Louis can pick up the win. But the first thing that has to happen is St. Louis needs to win this game, and right now they're in good position to win it. But it's early, and Pittman has been playing well. Both running backs have been playing good football. The only difference is Smith has 2 beastly, godlike, beast mode runs, and Pittman has just been running the football efficiently. So it sucks for Pittman because he's being outshined by Smith, and it's also showing up on the scoreboard. Tampa Bay's ready for the run. They have 8 in the box in this I-form set. There is the snap. It is swung out to the fullback. That is Tyrone Carpenter. He fights forward for at least a yard. You got to give him some effort you got to give him E for effort. That's what I want to say there. Give him E for effort on that one. As he's talking to the tackler, super and all. And we have a 2nd and 9. So now New York is moving his football. And like I said, no need to rush. Take your time. You've got plenty of football left in this half. About 6 minutes to go. There's no need to rush. You're at your own 34. Plenty of time to take care of the football and make it happen. Ace formation for New York. And the offensive line, maybe that is the reason why the offensive line gave up that sack. Butler just came right up the gut, and the guard for New York went down with an injury. I didn't even see when he got injured. It must have happened a few plays ago. So now they have a backup lineman that is in. So shotgun set on 3rd and long, trips formation at the top of your screen. They have 2 wide at the bottom. There is the snap. Perez is looking left, finds a man, but it gets tipped right off the hands. I think that is WR1. It is Kari Redmond. That was an important snag there. Now they will be punting this ball away. Incomplete pass right off his hands. He had the space as well. He makes this catch. Look at the space between him and the defender. He had a chance to catch that ball, turn upfield, break a tackle, and pick up that first down. But unfortunate turn of events, and now New York is punting this ball away yet again. They're going to have to rely on the leg of their punter to try and pin Tampa Bay deep and play a little FPF of their own. There is the snap. Punt is up. This time it's a real good one. It goes all the way back to the 20. Lukens picks it up and is stopped right there. They give him a gain of 1. He picked it up at the 20. They say he's down at the 21. That is some generous field. That is a generous spot. These refs are liking Tampa Bay on this one. And that's something to be proud of if you're a New York fan. It was great punt coverage. Good job by the special teams. But this defense, they got to show up, man. It's a 10-3 game. And there's a shot of Smith, who looks like he's lined up wide. He is. He is in that trips bunch formation at the top of your screen. So Murray and company are going to come out slinging it for this one. There is the snap. Murray is looking downfield. He finds a man over the middle. It is knocked down right at the middle of the field. Good defense by the Guardians. You got to commend them there on that one. That was Phil Redmond, not Kari. There's Kari Redmond, and then there's Phil Redmond. There's red. It sounds very similar, but I swear to you, it's an O-N-D and not an M-A-N. So, good defense by Redmond there. We have 2nd and 10 for Tampa Bay. Passing has not been their strong suit. It has been running. Let's see if they decide to run the ball here with Smith. Shotgun set, 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen. New York looks ready to stop the pass, and they run the ball. Devion Smith tries to spin away from a defender. Does not work. Stop down at the 24-yard line. That is a gain of 3. And now we have a 3rd and long for Tampa Bay. They're going to have to pass this football. If New York is going to win this game, that is what they're going to have to force Tampa Bay to do.
3rd and 7.
They've already given up over 150 yards rushing. They need to stop it from here and start to stifle that ground attack. There's a snap, switch formation, body of your screen for Aaron Murray. He's got plenty of time. He tries to step up and out of the way of the defender, runs right into another one. That is a sack, 4th and 13, and Tampa Bay will be punting this ball away now. That's the defensive line that we have been seeing all season long of New York. I mean, that center was trying his best to keep him at bay, but he just said, "You're not stopping me from getting the sack," and he got the first one of the day for New York. So we have a 4th and 13, and now Tampa Bay will be putting this ball away. So this quarter, first quarter was pretty exciting with the big plays. Granted, there's been some big plays this quarter as well, but it's been a whole lot of FPF. Hashtag FPF, field position football. New York gets the ball at their own 49-yard line. Good chance for them here to get some points. I mean, Casey Walker on the return. There's Luis Perez. He's going to come out here and try to get at least some kind of points, even if it's just 3 or 6 at this point. Just put up some points. They have not scored since their first drive of the game. So again, they've been stale since, and for them to get this ball at half, they've got to have some momentum here. There is a snap. Perez is looking. He throws it immediately. One-hand grab. Redmond definitely redeemed himself on that one. He said, "Man, my bad on that one. I'm going to redeem it. Just throw me the ball, bro." And I love that they're going to show this replay. Good job on the truck, guys. Great job, truck. Look at that one-hand grab. He made it look easy, just coming right across the middle. Outstretched arm, boom, snags it with one hand. He's probably got some stickum on those gloves. And if you guys are probably like, if any of you guys are under the age of 30, you guys have no idea what stickum is. Because even stickum is before my time. I-form set. Tampa Bay looks like they have 8 in the box, but they are not blitzing. They're playing their zone. Perez has got plenty of time. Look at him just standing there in the pocket. That is what you call a covered sack, though. Tampa Bay with the tackle.
I'm in a league of my own.
2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I'm sorry, no, wait, that's way behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, no, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That is a sack. Slade on the sack there. That's the defensive end. He did not quit. Got around the tackle and picked up his first sack of the day today.
2nd and 12.
So now we're looking at 2nd and 12. Ace set, 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. That is Redmond at the bottom. It is a handoff to Pittman, who gets caught up right at the line of scrimmage. Tampa Bay says none of that is happening here. Tyler Pittman, even though he has 54 yards on 13 carries, doesn't get any there. I mean, the bulk of his yards was on that big run that was early in the game where I got caught sleeping. I wasn't looking at my monitor. With under 3 to go, they need this 3rd down. They have not been converting 3rd downs much this game, and the Tampa Bay crowd is into it. Punch formation at the top of your screen. There is the snap. Perez is looking. He's going to have to get rid of it quick. Throws it on the run. It is tipped. Nearly caught. Oh, that was tough. But that was good defense by Tampa Bay, because if he caught it on the tip, if Damon James caught that on the tip there would have been nobody near him, because the tip sent the Tampa Bay Vipers, I believe that's the safety. Yeah, Rich Killian. It sent Killian past him, but Killian was able to come back and tackle him before he can get his paws completely secured on the football. Tough break there. That was great effort by New York, but here they go, punting this ball away again, and we've got some more hashtag FPF going on in this game. A whole lot of field position football. There's the punt. Can they coffin corner this one? It is down to the 5. Oh, he caught it, but he caught it running, and it goes into the end zone. As you can hear the Tampa Bay crowd uptick. That'll be a touchback. Tampa Bay will have the ball. with under 2.5 minutes to go with all 3 of their timeouts. If I'm Tampa Bay, I'm saying, you know what? Let's try and get a score here, man. Let's not play no games. We got time, and we've got all our timeouts. Let's get a score. Forget just trying to let the clock bleed and be happy with a 7-point lead. Because if you guys score at least 3, you'll have a 10-point lead going into the half, and that's going to be all the momentum in the world that you already have. Counter play called for Smith, and he goes nowhere. The interior line of the Guardians said, nah, bro, you ain't going nowhere. Stephen Flores led the charge on that stop, and it's now 2nd and 11. So since those 2 crazy runs, I think those 3 crazy runs for Smith, he has been held in check. And there it is. That's the 2-minute warning. The first stoppage of play, which should be more, which could be of many more stoppages. Stoppages? I don't believe stoppages is a real word. We're just going to keep it pushing.
Watch your side. Watch your side.
Aaron Murray letting his line know to take care of business here because we got to sling it. 2nd and 11. Trips formation at the top of your screen. Smith is the deep man. I mean, there he goes. Spinning off of a man. Shakes off of another. Devion Smith is playing some fantastic football today. He is looking like the hardest working man on the field today. And he is making New York look like, I don't know, a Bush League team, man. They look like they should be playing on The Replacements in the movie The Replacements. You guys remember that movie? Shane Falco, Keanu Reeves was the QB. Great movie. I love that movie. But they look like they're that team. It's crazy. Shotgun set. You got Smith flanked to the left of Murray. 3 wide set. 1:22 left to go. It's another handoff to Smith. He tries to go outside. Nothing doing there. Stopped at the line of scrimmage by the defensive end. That was Curtis Little on the stop. Good defense there. 4th and 4, and New York calls the first timeout to stop the clock. So you got to believe if New York is stopping this clock, then they're going to want to score here. And again, it's a whole lot of FPF. Tampa Bay is going to try and punt this ball away to get it into New York territory, but there's no guarantees. Tony Law is back at his 10-yard line, and Casey Walker is deep to receive. There is the punt. It's a high one. That one's hanging up there. One of the gunners was taken out on the right side. He tries to go that way. There's a fumble on the play. Fumbleia. Tampa Bay picks it up. Wow. That is not what you needed if you're a New York Guardian fan. Oh, he tried to spin. He tried to spin twice. The first spin really didn't work. He got a good block. Then he tried to spin again, and he was dropped, and he lost the football. Tough break by the special teams. Good job by the Tampa Bay special teams. It's now 1st and 10 at New York's 40. And Aaron Murray and company are coming out swinging. They're going to come out passing this ball. I love that. 4 wide set. Shotgun set for Murray. He is in the backfield all alone. There's the snap. Plenty of time. Throws it to the left side of the field, but it is incomplete as it was thrown too far, and it goes out of bounds. That one was intended for Douglas Lloyd. Was not able to pick up that football inside of the lines, and we have a 2nd and 10 with 1:05 to go. Now Murray hasn't had the best stat line, I believe, in this first half, but with Devion Smith playing the way he's playing, Aaron Murray just has to do one thing, and that's take the snap, hand the ball off. But right now they're looking to score, and I can't blame him on this one. Shotgun set. Murray is looking to the right. He throws the ball to Baker, and once again, Baker drops the ball. Maybe it's the type of gloves Baker has on. Baker's got those finger gloves where you can see your tips of your fingers out on the ends. The fingertips are cut off. Those are usually made for blockers. I don't know. I would assume, you can have the fingertip feel. You can get a better grip on the ball. Maybe that was his thought process. But 2 passes have been thrown his way, and both have been dropped. Aaron Murray again, empty set. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. That is a bunch formation. New York is ready to stop the pass. There's a snap. He throws another one over the middle, and it is another drop. That time it was good defense. Murray is looking for a flag, but I don't think there's a flag to be called there. And there's a shot of Law who's sitting there shaking his head like, man, I feel like I just punted this ball away. Y'all got me punting this ball again? With under a minute to go, Tony Law is going to try and pin New York deep. Maybe, let's see. Maybe let's look at this philosophy here. Maybe Law can pin them deep, and Tampa Bay can pick up a safety and make it a 12-3 game. There's a snap. Law punts this ball away, looking to coffin corner it again. It drops at the 9-yard line. Oh, what a bounce. Oh, they call it a touchback. Oh, that's a bad call. Listen, I think that's 2 weeks in a row I said something like that. Was it last week against Tampa Bay that they got screwed? I don't remember, but they were just, I know I was talking about it the entire rest of the game. I believe it was Seattle. Seattle had got a score and they called clipping. Yes, it was Seattle against Dallas, I believe. They called clipping and he barely touched them and it was a lineman. It was, I don't want to have memories about it. Perez swings it out to Pittman. There is a penalty on the play. Speaking of penalty flags, there's one there. Let's see what the call is.
Holding, number 77.
Holding call on the Guardians. Man, listen to this Tampa Bay crowd. This Tampa Bay crowd is on their feet. They want to see their Vipers win. And they've been loving the way Tampa Bay has played today so far. They've loving the fact that Smith has ran amok on them all this half. And they have the lead right now with 43 seconds to go in the half. First and 20 for the New York Guardians on that, after that holding call. They're in the shotgun set, 4 wide. It is a handoff to Pittman. I think they're going to concede for the rest of this half and say, you know what? Let's just call it. Let's go into the halftime. They really don't have to snap the ball again. The game clock is maybe like half a second away.
Double weak stretch. Break.
They're calling another run play here. They call it doubles weak stretch. It'll be a single back set. I think they'll have, yep, they have twins. I call it twins formation. They call it doubles. Everybody's got different language. There's a snap. It is a handoff to Pittman. Pittman gets stopped, but he gains about a yard. And I'm sure that'll tick away the half with 5 to go. Good stop there by Tampa Bay. That was Marty Lyons on the stop. That is the half. 10-3 ball game in favor of Tampa Bay. New York is going to have to come out in this second half with some fire, with a will to succeed. But please enjoy this halftime show brought to you by Onslaught Multimedia, the creators of the Blast podcast. Man, it has been a good half. That highlight show, that halftime highlight show was very quick. The half went by very quick. But let's talk about some key points here. The first thing I realized was that, man, we've had a lack of real good passing. To see guys like Josh Johnson and PJ Walker and Landry Jones and Cardell Jones sling the rock up and down the field. These two teams have relied on the ground game. I mean, if you saw that stat line, if you didn't, Tampa Bay has 1 passing yard in the first half. 1 yard. Now, New York has done a little better, but it's only 53 for them. So that has not been the focus. The big difference has been the rush game. Tampa Bay has 160 yards rushing total, but De'Veon Smith shows that they have 161 yards rushing, and you've got to believe that they're going to continue that trend in this half. Butler has led all defenses with 6 tackles in the half. That man has been playing well. Like I said, he is the toughest man in the league. Broken nose, continued to play even though he was diagnosed to be out 4 weeks, and he makes the tackle on that run there. 2nd and 8 for New York as we start the second half. They got to get something going here right now, or kicking the ball off in the first half was pointless. If they don't get some kind of points on this drive, Tampa Bay is going to continue to have control of this game, and New York is going to be on the outside looking in and sitting until about 11 p.m. at the stadium. Wow, what a hit! What a hit by Marty Lyons. Big hit. Big hit there. He put Perez on his cheeks. I mean, Perez shook off the first guy, but couldn't get his footing to him. His laurels, couldn't rest his laurels, and he got smacked for his trouble. Now we're looking at 3rd and 15. Shotgun set for New York, 3rd and 15. They got to convert here. There's the snap to Perez. And they've only rushed 4 for Tampa Bay. He's got a ball, but he overthrows it. I mean, these New York receivers, I usually talk a lot of smack about these New York teams, especially their receiving core. They don't put a lot of effort in. They drop a lot of passes. But I've seen them try to get those Perez passes twice now, trying to outstretch their arms and dive for the ball to try and catch these passes. So they're putting in the effort. They understand the sense of urgency that they need to have in this game. They just have not been able to execute, and it shows by the 10-3 score that we have on our scoreboard. They're punting this ball away again. Their punter is at the 2-yard line. That leads to good field position again for Tampa Bay. They will be at their own 41-yard line. I mean, since about the first quarter, this has been a whole lot of #FPF, field position football. With under 9 minutes to go in the third, Murray and company have the ball again. Let's see. I mean, they wanted to pass the ball to try and pick up some more points at the end of the half. But now that it's the third quarter, you've got plenty of time. Get this ball to Smith, who's not in the game at all. Why would they switch up their game plan? I understand New York is stopping it, but I mean, you're up 7. Keep running this ball. Let this clock tick. Murray takes the snap. He's in the empty gun set. Throws the ball out to, I believe that is Baker, who gets a little help from one of his opponents. I believe, yep, that is Baker on that one. He caught the ball for a gain of 4 on the out route. Good way to start the drive. 2nd and 6 for Tampa Bay. Now, I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that they didn't start with a run to get this clock rolling. But, I mean, clock is running now with 8:40 to go. Tampa Bay wants to leave with a win. They want to play spoiler, if anything. They want to be that team, be like, man, we slept on Tampa Bay, and look at us now. Now we're on the outside looking in. There's a handoff to Smith. He breaks off one tackle, shoulders over another. It takes 2 men to bring him down from behind, and that is the running that you must be expecting if you're a Tampa Bay fan. That was the type of running that De'Veon Smith had in the first quarter, and he's doing a repeat performance here. I mean, look at this. Barrels over another guy, spins off another, so he's showing a little grace and power, a little finesse and power. He can run a dude over, he can spin away from another one, and he picks up a first down. 1st and 10 in New York territory now, with 8:05 to go in this quarter. Shotgun set.
Goal 16.
There is the snap. Murray called an audible. Let's see if it works out for him. Another out route pass. It is complete. This one goes to Hubbard. He picks up 5 before he is knocked on his butt. 2nd and 5. He's a little happy. He's doing a little. It looks a little bit almost like a Razor Ramon, or you might know him as Scott Hall. A little NWO deal going there. 2nd and 5 for Tampa Bay. They're at the New York 39 with 7.5 to go. New York looks like they're coming to bring the pain. They've got about 9 in the box, and it's an offset eye because they know that this is a run formation. Hands off to De'Veon Smith. Bounces to the outside, spins away from 2, but gets dropped on his head pretty much, and picks up a good gain there. He gets 3 on that carry. Anything over 3 yards on a rush is good. Positive yardage, I've been saying, is always good, but when you get over 3, that's good because you go 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. Well, 3.3 yards. Let's be specific, I guess. You get about 3 yards every down, you're going to get a first down. It's simple math. If you think I'm wrong, talk about me in the chat. Tell me I'm an idiot. Offset eye, this time it is not a run. Caught for a first down. Toe drag. Swag. They are at the 33-yard line of New York. Simpson on the catch there. 6:52 left to go in this quarter, and Tampa Bay is moving this football. This is not looking good for the New York Guardians. If Tampa Bay puts up another score, it might be safe to say that this one's over the way New York's offense has not been producing. I-form set, little 1990s I-form set for the Tampa Bay Vipers. There is the snap. Devion Smith swings to the outside. That is a pass to Hubbard. Hubbard picks it up at the 15, brings it down to the 14-yard line before he is tackled. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay. And I'm telling you now, Tampa Bay's clicking. That first half, Murray was not really slinging the pill. I mean, he had 1 passing yard total, not just like on one play. And Murray had 1 passing yard total.
Is this a great drive or what?
And he's got confidence now. I mean, he has all the confidence in the world, and it's justifiable. He's been slinging this ball well. This is more of a balanced attack this half, which is probably why after Devion Smith had those big runs, he started to get stopped because they weren't capitalizing with play action or any kind of passing out of Aaron Murray. Now he's at 172 yards.
Big stop,
I mean,
baby.
that man.
Great tackle.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling good now.
You've got to believe that they're going to continue to run this ball, and Smith will have over 200 yards rushing today with ease. I mean, he's only 28 yards away, and there's still over 15 minutes to go in this game. Offset eye, you got to believe that he's getting this ball here again. There's a snap. It's another handoff to Devion Smith. He falls forward and picks up 2 on the gain, 3rd and 8 at the 12. Even if Tampa Bay doesn't get the touchdown here, they'll pick up 3 on a field goal, barring any foolery, any blocking or anything like that on the kick, and they'll have a 10-point game. Any more points scored here is going to just make it tougher for New York. With just over 5 minutes to go, there is a snap, trips formation at the bottom of your screen. Murray is looking, dumps it to his tight end, I believe. Wow, what an effort. I love the effort there. I'm telling you, Baker is a tight end's tight end. Your favorite tight end, Sean Baker. He knew he had to get to that first down mark. And did you see that individual effort with the man draped on his back to try and get that first down? Great effort there by Baker. Unfortunately, he does not get it. 4th and 2 for Tampa Bay. They're going to be kicking this ball through the uprights. Let's see if they can get it, or can New York get a block. There's the snap. Good hold. There is the kick. Kick is up. Kick is good. 13-3 ball game in favor of Tampa Bay. And as the game progresses on, if you are a St. Louis Battlehawks coach, if you're a St. Louis Battlehawks player, if you're a St. Louis Battlehawks fan, if you are the mother of any St. Louis Battlehawks player, if you are the best friends who are sitting down watching SFL football, hoping that hoping that your friend of the Battlehawks has a chance to make the playoffs, you guys are going crazy right now. You are the biggest Tampa Bay Viper fans, as they have a 10-point lead against the team that you need to have lose in order for you to win the tiebreaker if you beat DC later today. It wouldn't be the XFL if we didn't have some drama. I mean, this company is ran by Alpha Entertainment, a subsidiary of the WWE, a drama-filled sports entertainment company. So there has to have drama in our sports. Drama is usually written on its own in sports, not like the WWE where they write it themselves, and it's writing itself out here. I mean, if you don't believe me, oh, what a run by Pittman on that one. Shakes off a man at his feet and gets past the first down. I do not have any control over what happens here. I am calling the action as it goes along, as you guys are watching. That's all I am doing. I set it up to where these two teams play each other, and I call the action afterwards. That is all I do when it comes to this. All of this is controlled by the AI, which is why I love this game here. All Pro Football 2K8 can do simulation football right. I'm not going to take any jabs at Madden, but I think that was a jab right there already. That was a little one. That was like a pepper to the ribs. That wasn't really a big jab. There is the snap. It is handed off to Pittman. Pittman lowers the boom, gets 5 yards on that carry, and the way Pittman's running the ball, if they can continue to do this for the rest of this drive, it might be a 13-10 ball game, and we might have ourselves a football game. But this has been New York's problem all season. They have not put up that many points, and it shows in their net touchdowns. They are -4, while St. Louis sits at 0. They need a win. I'm sorry, they're -5 now because they gave up a touchdown today. There's a snap thrown over the middle. Good defense there. Dan Butler knocks the ball out of Fitzsimmons' hands. Fitzsimmons has a chance there. Let's check the replay. It was a tight end dump, a play that Parham has made really famous today, but Butler stuck his hands in there, trying to pick the ball off himself, knocks the ball away, and now we have a 3rd and 5. They're going to have to rely on the arm of Perez and these receivers with their untrustworthy hands to make a play here. 13-3 ball game, shotgun set for Perez. He's got 2 backs flanked to each side. We might see a swing pass here. You never know. There is the snap. He is looking downfield, throws it on an out route. It is, wow, that was crazy. It was almost caught. It did a little breakdance spin move on the top of his head, and they're going to call that one a drop because Redmond did not catch it. When Redmond is your #1 receiver, and you've targeted him 5 times, and he has 2 catches and 2 drops, that means Perez has gotten the ball to him 4 times. 2 times he's failed, and 2 times he's succeeded. That's tough when that's your #1 receiver. 4th and 5, and New York is punting this ball away again. There is the snap. Nearly blocked on that one. Wow. But that is one hell of a punt. Lukens gets it at the 15-yard line. He is stopped at about, they're going to call it the 20? Wow. Sometimes these refs are real generous, man. I'm going to say he got tackled at like the 18, but they gave him 2 extra yards. I'm not saying anything. I'm an unbiased commentator. I don't have any stake in the game.
Let's keep plugging away.
I swear to you, I didn't put any money on this game. I swear. I'm not a gambling man. I didn't put any money on this game. Shotgun set. The man in the white gloves, that is Devion Smith, flanked next to Aaron Murray. 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen. Hubbard is the topmost receiver. He is the man who gets the call. That is a out route complete to him, and he gets pinballed around before picking up 9 yards. 2nd and inches. I'm going to say he picked up 9.9 yards. 2nd and inches for the Tampa Bay Vipers, and they are looking good this half. I'm telling you, this might be it, man. If Tampa Bay scores here, I'm going to call it. Hubbard is on the sideline, getting a breather. I-form set. This is a run formation. There is the snap. Tampa Bay gets the first down with another great effort from Devion Smith. He has 178 yards rushing today. Wow. I mean,
putting up a better fight. Let's tough it up.
Don't get me wrong. He had 122 yards on like his first 2 carries. So since then, throughout the game, he's only picked up, I can't say only, I mean, that's good. Picked up 56 more yards. The man has 178 yards on the day. That is one of the main reasons why Tampa Bay has this 10-point lead. But he is out taking a breather. Shotgun set on 1st and 10 for Murray. Murray looks to his left. Tipped off of the hands of Lloyd. I actually might have been Williamson on that one. I'm not too sure. They both wear 86, so it's hard for me to tell. Murray's shaking his head on that one, but he cannot be seen as a flustered man. He is the leader of this team. And like I said, Cornelius played well. Cornelius did a good job of trying to keep his team in games in Murray's absence. But since Murray's been back, the Tampa Bay Vipers have been playing a good amount of football. So good, they might have been in the playoff race themselves. Hand off to Devion Smith. Shakes off the first guy, the defensive tackle that was on his back. Gets tackled from behind on that one. 9-yard gain. 3rd and 1 for Tampa Bay. I mean, man, when Devion Smith is running this well, you just got to continue to keep giving that man the ball. Keep giving him the ball. Keep giving him the ball. You got to believe he's going to get the ball here. It is an I-form set. They got 1 wide receiver at the top of your screen. That is Simpson. New York responds with 7 in the box. They actually 8 in the box. Yep. There's the handoff to Smith. Smith does not get stopped behind the line. Throws over 1 man. Yo, this man, Devion Smith, he's 6 yards away from 200. I mean, for a player to be doing that well, it's a good thing to see. I love it. I just absolutely love it. 194 yards. I mean, the man's been balling, and he is sitting right next to Aaron Murray, who's calling the audible. Shotgun set, 4 wide receiver set. It is a draw play, but the New York Guardians were ready for it. Big stop there. Big stop by New York. Loss of 4 yards on that one. That is good defense. Nobody. Oh, that's the reason why it's hard to run a draw play when nobody touches the defensive tackle, you're making it tough on your running back.
Wolves Vipers, 46-yard.
I-form set for the Vipers. You got to believe they're just going to run this ball again. Let's see if they can redeem themselves. Nope, they're going to pass. There is a snap. Murray steps up and throws the weirdest pass I have seen ever. Why would you step up and throw it to the sideline on the run? How is that even physically impossible? Let me get some WTFs in the chat for that one. 3rd and 14. Under 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. That was a throwaway play. Maybe he was trying to throw the ball away. We're going to say that. He was trying to throw the ball away. It just so happened that De'Veon Smith tried to make an effort and catch the ball. Trips formation at the bottom of your screen. De'Veon Smith is always also on the left side. He is going to go to the flats. Murray gets hit as he's thrown. It is caught. Great catch, but unfortunate. Not enough. 4th and 5 for the Vipers. They'll be punting this ball away. With 6 seconds to go in a quarter, you got to believe that's going to be the end there. There's no need for them to even come out of the huddle.
The end of the third.
That will do it, and the Tampa Bay Vipers are in complete control of this game. It is 13-3. New York, it looks like if they can't make something happen in this last quarter, it seems like the fate.
Come on, let's swarm this guy.
The fate will be in the hands of none other but your division rivals, the DC Defenders. A loss here for New York. They are out of chances when it comes to tiebreaking. They will sit at 5-5. St. Louis is 4-5. If St. Louis beats DC today on primetime, this is why I love the XFL, man. Damn, that's one good punt, but it bounces into the end zone. Touchback. Luis Perez and company will start at the 20. Our last game of the season. It is in prime time, 8 p.m. tonight. Do not miss it. It is going to be the most important game of the day as St. Louis and DC will go to battle one last time to see if St. Louis can make it to the playoffs. Now, Tampa Bay needs to lock up this win for any of that to matter. Let's be clear. But right now, the way this game has been going, it doesn't. Oh, and Pittman breaks another one. There is a beautiful run by Pittman. That is what New York needed to start the drive. Pittman with such a good run on the outside, got around the corner of the defensive line, and Pittman. Listen, Pittman has been playing his part. That was a lot of P's. That's a tongue twister. Pittman playing his part. Pittman has been playing his part, and there's a shot of Parker. A lot of P's in the chat. Pterodactyl. I saw that in the YouTube video. It makes sense because pterodactyl starts with a P. Yeah, whatever. Hand off to Pittman once again. He is stopped at the 49-yard line, right where they started. No gain on the play. Good defense by the Vipers. Ryan Mylands on the stop. Haven't called his name much today.
You best believe it. Woo!
And he is talking a whole lot of smack to Pittman. Listen, they are playing inspired today.
This is the big one right here, boys. Gun, split spread, weak draw, and break.
I understand Pittman's playing well, but if you're going to say this is the big one and then you call a run play, a weak draw play, I'm going to guess Tampa Bay is going to be ready for it. They look like they're ready to defend the pass. They only have 6 in the box. Let's see what happens here. It looks like they're in man-to-man formation. There is a snap with 3 on the play clock. Draw play up the gut. He tries to lower his shoulder, and Butler leads the charge on the stop. They call it a yard gain on the play. 3rd and 9, right at midfield for New York. New York needs to convert this 3rd down. Let's be honest, it's a 2-score game. It's a 10-point lead for Tampa Bay. If they do not score on this drive, Tampa Bay and the way they've been running will bleed this clock so far. New York will be running out of time. There is the snap, empty set for Perez. He is looking downfield, finds his man. It is Fitzsimmons. Unfortunately, does not get the 1st down. And I don't care what you say. This is 4-down football. There's no way you punt this ball here. If you punt this ball here, you might as well. And here, out comes the punter. Jesus Christ. I'm done. I'm out of here. See you. I'm done. Forget it. I'm calling it. I'm kidding. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. 8 minutes to go in the game, and you're punting this ball. You're down 10. The fate of your season hangs in these last 8 minutes where you control your own fate. Punt is a big bounce. Man, there was a lot of those punts today. In this FPF game, a whole lot of punts that have nearly been pinned at the 1-yard line, but these refs have been calling it touchbacks. I mean, they've been making great calls today. I'm not calling out the refs.
We have to make a statement on this series. All right.
First and 10.
They've been making some bold statements on field position. I'm sorry, on where the ball's been down, but they've been doing a great job officiating all season. I don't want to knock them. They've done a great job. Offset I set. You got to believe this is another run. Handoff to Devion Smith. What a run, man. The first guy never seems to be able to stop Smith. The first guy is always just a victim, and he was a victim on that one. 5-yard gain for Tampa Bay. If you heard one of the New York defenders in the field pass,
26 yards.
he said, we need to stop here. They've been showing up all game. They've only given up 13 points. That is the New York defense that we know. They've only given up 1 touchdown all day long. And another good run by Smith. The problem is they haven't been able to stop Smith, who's well over the 200-yard mark by now. And because of it, they find themselves down 10. But that, not only the fact that they haven't been able to stop Smith, the New York offense has pretty much no-showed. I mean, with 7 minutes to go, New York only has 3 points to their name, and they got that in the first half. I mean, I'm sorry, not the first drive of the game. A counterplay, hand off to Smith. Almost made a victim of the first guy, but his teammate came up and helped him clean it up. That was a big tackle by Murray. Also helped on the stop there was DJ Collier, I believe, or I think that was DJ Collier. Didn't see the back of his jersey on that one. Too busy checking my other monitor. 6.5 minutes to go. Tampa Bay is in the driver's seat. If you are a St. Louis fan, you're absolutely loving what is going on here in this game. There's the snap. High snap for Murray. He corrals it down, steps up, throws it to the sideline. Just a little too far for Simpson. Incomplete pass. We now have a 3rd and long with 6:16 to go. What a game this game has been. It may be a low score and maybe only 13-3, but man, both of these teams have been playing some exciting football. I'm sorry, Tampa Bay has been playing exciting football. New York has shown signs of life. Let me not say it as if they've just been floundering all game. They've shown signs of life, but they can't get the ball even near the end zone. Snap to Aaron Murray. He's got plenty of time. Oh, I lied. Oh, shook off the first guy, but the second guy cleaned it up. That is a huge sack for New York. With 6 minutes to go, as their lineman prays on him, he's like, bless you, son. Bless you. Christ be to God, and power be to you. I'm not a religious guy, so I have no idea what I'm talking about here. But anyway, big sack there, down at the 20-yard line. Tampa Bay's going to have to punt this ball away. And if we're still playing the game of FPF, Tony Law's got to get this ball deep into New York territory with under 6 to go to force New York to make some big plays, which they don't take a lot of chances on to begin with. There's the punt. It is up. It looks like it's a little short. Actually, that's a good one. At the 40-yard line. Oh, he makes a man miss before he is dropped quickly at the 46. He's slow to get up, but he's getting up. Great run there by Casey Walker. The New York Guardians. Luis Perez has only 54 yards to pay dirt. And they need to score on... I keep saying they need to score on this drive. They need to score on this drive. They need to score on this drive. Guess what? New York, you got to score on this drive. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the game. We are at the New York 46-yard line. 54 yards to pay dirt. Pittman cannot be your only source of positive yardage. There is a snap. Perez drops back, swings it to Pittman. Surprise, surprise. Pittman gets smacked for his trouble. Killian on the hit there. 2-yard gain for New York, and this Tampa Bay crowd is feeling it. The clock is ticking, though. New York is slowly running out of time on the season.
Slant and stops. Let's do it. Break.
So they're running a Trey 90 slant and stops. That means it's a trips formation on one side. Let's see where it's at. That is the bottom of your screen. It is slant and stop. Somebody's running some slants. Some guys are going to be running some hitch routes. Hopefully it is called and designed at least 9 yards so they're in front of the marker. It is not. They go for the slant route instead, and that's Dakari Redmond. He gets the space. First down, and they're now hurrying up. Now they understand what's going on here. Hurry up offense, trip formation still at the bottom of your screen. Perez drops back. He is looking. He's got some time. No pressure there. Thrown across the middle. Incomplete pass. Big Mac, Mackenzie Frizel with another drop. That has been the story of New York all day today. Every time. That is a good throw. Perez has been playing decent enough to get these guys the ball, but the receivers are letting them down. Let's be honest. The receivers are letting them down, and now they're at 2nd and 10 at the Tampa Bay 40. Maybe you run this ball with Pittman to see if you can get some positive yards here. Can't do that when he's not in the game. Trips formation at the top of your screen. 4:47 to go. They need to get this first down here, and he is sacked for a loss of 5. No time to even elaborate. Perez says, screw it. We're going to run this hurry up. Trips formation, top of your screen. There's the snap. Empty back set. And he gets sacked again. Now, if you are a New York fan, you're doing what I'm doing. I have my hands over my face. Like, what in the world is going on? What looked like a promising drive is now stalled out. Steven Flores cleans it up. 4th and 22 for New York. Tough break, man. With just over 4 minutes to go, I think it's safe to say this one might be over. You gotta assume that Tampa Bay. Oh, they're going for it, and he's hit before he can get the ball off. Sack on the play. 3 consecutive sacks for Tampa Bay. What a dominating stop for Tampa Bay to show them, hey man, we're not going to allow you guys to even get near our end zone. Tampa Bay takes over on the turnover on downs at the New York 43. And I got to say it's over. Now look at that stat line. 21 carries, 201 yards for De'Veon Smith. Offset eye. This is the traditional Tampa Bay run formation. 7 is in the box for New York. That might not be enough. It is on this play, but it doesn't stop Smith from picking up 2 yards. But the most important thing is 2 spots to the side of the XFL logo. Not the play clock, but the game clock. Tick, 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 tick. 3:47 left to go in the game. And if you're St. Louis...
No, not today. No, sir.
If you're St. Louis, you are happier than a pig in poop because your team now has a fighting chance. There's a snap. It goes to Smith, and he's got plenty of space. He's down to the 30-yard line. Gets tackled at the 25. Another big gain for De'Veon Smith, and that has been the story of today's game. I don't think Tampa Bay has thrown over 100 yards, and they don't need to in this one because De'Veon Smith has done the job. He has carried the load, literally carried the load, over 20 carries, over 200 yards rushing today. But again, that clock is ticking. New York still has all 4 of their timeouts, but they need the ball right now. They need it to be trying to score instead of playing defense. And I mean, look, Tampa Bay's taking their sweet time.
Ooh, baby, I've been feeling good since the first whistle.
And I mean, listen to the confidence oozing off of Smith. With under 3 minutes to go, St. Louis, let's talk scenarios. Let's talk scenarios now because I mean, it's evident. Hurdles over a man, jukes over around, spins around another. De'Veon Smith, that man, listen, that man, De'Veon Smith, if there's anybody else besides Josh Johnson, PJ Walker, and Cam Phillips for MVP, it's got to be De'Veon Smith. He is another man that has been playing well for his team. Without De'Veon Smith, Tampa Bay would not be in the position they're in. I mean, it's hard to believe that you give an MVP to a team, a player that's on a team that has a losing season. But I mean, his effort has been crazy this entire year. I-form set. I think they're going to have to snap it before this gets to the 2-minute warning. Yep, there's the snap. It is handed off again. This time to Leroy Green, giving Smith a breather, and he picks up a good amount of yards. That shows you that Tampa Bay offensive line has complete control of this game. If Leroy Green, the backup, is picking up yards like that, let's look at this run here. It was a power O, good blocks, double team the linebacker, and Clinton Kidd just tried to do the most there, and obviously it didn't work out. 1:59 left to go, and Tampa Bay is in scoring position. Even if they don't get 6, they pick up 3, and this game's going to be pretty much out of reach. New York is not a quick-hitting squad. They're not LA, they're not Houston, they're not DC. So with 2 minutes to go in this game, if TB scores here, if Tampa Bay scores here, it's over. So like I said before that run, let's talk scenarios, but I'll do that after De'Veon Smith picks up another 5 yards. I have no idea. I mean, I guess they have to call timeout. because they have to show that they are trying to win this game still, with this being the last game of the season, and they don't want to give up another touchdown, which will bring their net touchdowns down even more. Let's talk scenarios. Let's just say it. Under 2 minutes ago, New York's lost this ball game. They will be sitting at 5-5. Let me update my standings. They'll be sitting at 5-5. Congrats to Tampa Bay. They will be 4-6. Another run to Devion. This time he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but that forces New York to call another timeout. 1:50 to go. Good stop there by Griffin and company, but New York will be 5-5. They still have a chance to make the playoffs, but they're going to have to hope DC can pick up their 7th win of the year and defeat Jordan Te'amu and the St. Louis Battlehawks. The problem is DC's on the road. DC has not done well on the road. I think they've picked up 2 wins out of their 4 games they've played on the road. Today will be their last road game. So, to be 2-3 on the road, another run by Devion. This time it doesn't get into the end zone. Last time out called by New York. You got to believe that Tampa Bay is going to boot it up and go up 16-3. So again, talking scenarios, the way the tiebreakers work in the XFL is like this. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head matchups. They split the season series, that being New York and St. Louis. They split the season series. The St. Louis Battlehawks won the first game 29-9. New York defeated St. Louis on the Last Life Gaming Network. That game is in the archives. Please go back and take a look at that game, because that might be important for later today. They defeated them 10-9 with a late game touchdown. If St. Louis had won that game, they would be 5-4. And a loss here from Tampa Bay, they would be sitting at 4-6. And St. Louis would easily be in the playoffs, whether they lost or not to DC. We would be having a back-to-backs for DC and St. Louis, but that's not the scenario. Let's keep with what we got here. I don't want to stray away from what the hell we're talking about here. The first tiebreaker will be head-to-head matchups. They split that in the season series. They each won a game. The next tiebreaker is net touchdowns. Right now, with Tampa Bay scoring a touchdown in this game by Devion Smith on that huge run in the first quarter, that puts New York at -5 for the season, and St. Louis is at 0. They've scored just as many touchdowns as they've given up all year. Now, granted, we're saying touchdowns, not points, not field goals, not safeties, touchdowns. How many times you've crossed the goal line? That's what the important number is. 9 there. Wow. Untouched. Flores goes right in. Doesn't even attempt to tackle him. He just lowers his shoulder and says, "Sit down, Perez. Stop trying to be a hero. This game's over, bruh." So like I was saying, St. Louis sits at 0. So they win the tiebreaker there. So all St. Louis has to do now is defeat the DC Defenders, and they will coast into the playoffs with a 5-5 record on the tiebreaker scenario. There's a snap. It is high to Perez. Perez is looking in the middle of the field. It is complete. Pass is caught by Frank Hubbard. They have a Hubbard as well on their team. 3rd and 4. They're still in a hurry up, but they're running out of time. No timeouts. They can't stop this clock. They're just going with the motions here. Another pass. Now these guys want to pass. Now they want to catch the passes that Perez has been trying to throw all game long. Damon James on that one. He catches that ball. 4th and 1 with 1:08 to go. I'm sure they're going to go for it. I mean, look, they're all in the huddle there. 4th and 1 with 1 minute to go in this game. And like I said, this one is over. So, with that being said, complete pass. It is a first down, and Fitzsimmons cannot get out of bounds, so they're back to the hurry up. With that being said, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Vipers. Tampa Bay was looking bleak as he spikes the ball like that's really going to do anything. Tampa Bay was looking pretty bleak midway through the season. They've won 3 of their last 4. They're going to finish off the year 4-6. That has got to be great for the Tampa Bay fans to see that their team finished off strong with Murray coming back. That's a lot of promise for next season. I say next season because I'm very optimistic that the XFL will return once this COVID-19 mess is all done and over with. Here's looking at the XFL right now. The XFL has suspended all operations. I talked about it deeply on Saturday's game. How does Perez get away from that tackle there? And that one's almost picked off. I don't know if you saw that, but one of the Tampa Bay defenders tried to catch it behind his head. That was crazy. I hope I get can we get a replay on that one? That whole play was crazy. Perez should have been sacked. He was able to sneak away from the defender, throw it across his body, off his back foot, tipped up. The guy tried to catch it behind his head. Only on the XFL and Last Life Gaming Network will you see plays like that. 30 seconds to go in this game. Like I said, congrats to Tampa Bay. These guys played extremely well. Kudos to you guys for doing what you needed to do. And you have made twice the fans. You have Tampa Bay fans and you have St. Louis fans. For the time being, them guys love you because you have given St. Louis a fighting chance. And surprise, surprise, incomplete pass, turnover on downs. Tampa Bay will take over, and that one will officially do it. I'm sure they're just going to down the ball. Out comes Murray. He's going to come out and just down this ball and say, we are done here. That's the story of New York's game today and their season. They have all the opportunities in the world, and they just drop the ball. They always continue to drop the ball. They had a chance to clinch the playoff spot with the win here and their 6th win of the season and be over 500, but they will end the season at 5-5 and will have to sit back and watch their division rivals, DC and St. Louis, battle it out in prime time at 8 p.m. tonight on the Last Life Gaming Network, cheap plug, to see if they will make the playoffs or not. And there it is. That is the end of the game. That will do it for Tampa Bay. Congratulations. I mean, what a game, guys. I'm at a loss for words because now I'm so excited for the next game. The next game matters so much more. But before we talk about it, please enjoy this post-game show brought to you by the Onslaught Multimedia, the creators of the Blast podcast. Onslaught Multimedia Player of the Game, surprise, surprise, Devion Smith, 27 carries, 232 yards rushing with 1 touchdown. He had 1 receiving yard too, but I mean, I think that doesn't really matter. The man ran amok all over New York and made it look easy. He is the reason why they won this game, with neither team getting over 100 passing yards. I mean, New York slacked, but Tampa Bay just did what they needed to do. They picked up win number 4. Congrats to them. Their season is over. New York, on the other hand, will be sitting on the couch with the rest of us at 8 p.m. to see who will make it to the playoffs. DC at St. Louis tonight, 8 p.m. at primetime. St. Louis wins. They are in the playoffs. We will see you then. Thank you for watching the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network.